welcome back to my YouTube channel all about VLSI. In this particular video, we are going to start with the development of environment file. In our previous videos, we have developed write driver, write monitor, read monitor, scoreboard and reference model. If you haven't watched those particular sessions, I recommend you to watch them so that it will be easier to understand what is happening over here. In this particular session, let's try to develop something interesting, which is environment, which is easy also. Now, before trying to develop our environment, we are going to make little changes to our generator file. Like we are going to make few modifications. We are going to add few tasks over there in the generator compared to the previous one. So let me show you quickly. So in the generator class, we were having write mailbox, read mailbox, and write done mailbox and new function. These are all same, right? Now over here, the previous generator code I have removed and I have added the new generator code over here. So what I've done is I've added basically three tasks. One is send underscore write, wait underscore write, and send underscore read. So the send underscore write is a task which is expecting an address argument and as well as a data argument. Now, after that, it is going to create a transaction object and it is going to make transaction dot operation is equal to write, address is equal to address, w data is equal to data, and it is going to print. And after happening this, it is going to put that particular transaction to the right mailbox. That means right driver mailbox. And another task, which is basically for wait underscore writes underscore done. This is just for inserting the wait states in between the write and read. So this is basically repeating for the number of cycles which the user is going to send, and it is going to uh, get the acknowledgement from the driver using this TOK argument. And next is send underscore read. Basically, it is used for read operation. These are the three tasks which I have included over here. And this were not included in the previous generator file. So please look into it. And I will also provide this particular generator file so that you can have a look into it. Okay. And next is run task. So previously, when I was writing my generator task, I was not having any arguments in the run task, but here I'm going to include it. So first one is write address, which is an array, dynamic array of 7 bit. And next is write data, which is also a dynamic array. And next is n underscore writes, that is number of writes, and read address, number of reads, and randomize underscore transactions. So depending upon my randomize underscore transactions, how many transactions I want to randomize, I'm going to iterate this loop for that many number of writes, and I'm going to randomize it, and I'm going to call the task which is known as send underscore write. And for the read operations also, I'm going to do the same thing, but over here I'm going to call read send underscore read task. That's it. Okay. So this is a small modifications which I've done inside my generator. Okay. Apart from that, everything is same. Like the logic which we have written, the same thing in the generator also, but that we cannot use it for having multiple test cases. So if I want to have multiple test cases, that's the reason I'm making small modifications so that I can add multiple test cases. I will show you when I'm developing the test case. Okay, anyways, I'm going to share this file so that you can have a look into it. Now, let's develop the scoreboard file. I mean the environment file. So here, environment is a file which is going to have all the components which we have discussed previously. That means it is going to have a generator with it, and it is going to have driver, and it is going to have uh, both write driver as well as it is going to have read driver instantiated in it, and write monitor and read monitor instantiated in it, as well as it is also going to have scoreboard and reference model instantiated inside it, and generator is also instantiated in my environment, and also mailbox handles, whatever the mailbox handles we have discussed, right, from generator to write driver, generator to read driver, scoreboard to reference model, all those particular mailbox handles will be instantiated, and we are going to pass them from the environment, whatever the instances which we have created in the environment, that we are going to pass it to the lower level models like write driver, read driver, scoreboard, reference model via the new function. Okay, so that we are going to see it today. Now let's open this file, and let's have the environment file declared. Now, if we are going to have multiple files, like for example, here everything I'm writing it down in the same file, interface, and here generator, transaction, driver, monitor, everything in the same file I'm writing. But if we are going to have different files, every component written in different files, for example, generator in one file, scoreboard in one file, reference model in one file, and if you want to instantiate them in your environment, you are going to use something known as tick include. So inside your environment, you're going to use this particular construct which is known as tick include, and followed by the file name. The file name first you're going to have the transaction.sv is the file name. Next file name is you're going to have tick include write underscore driver. This is the next file name you're going to have write underscore driver.sv. So like this, first of all, you need to instantiate every file name in your environment. Then you're going to write down your environment code. Or else if you're going to write down everything in a single file, there is no need to include them. Okay. Yes. Now let's create a class which is RAM underscore environment. And here let me create the generator class handle. So generator class instances RAM underscore generator. So RAM underscore generator, the handle name is GN, let's keep. And next is write driver, RAM underscore write underscore driver, write underscore DRV is the handle name which I'm going to have. Let me check whether it is RAM underscore write underscore driver. Yeah. And next is RAM underscore read underscore driver. Like that, I'm going to declare all the handles, read underscore driver, RAM underscore write underscore monitor, write underscore mon, and RAM underscore read underscore monitor I'm going to have, and read underscore mon, and also RAM underscore ref underscore model rm, and RAM underscore scoreboard SB. So these are the handles which I have declared over here. Next, I'm going to declare the mailbox handles. Mailbox, first mailbox handle, I want to have from the generator to the write driver. So the mailbox handle here is write underscore mailbox. And next, mailbox hash read underscore mailbox. Next, I'm going to have the mailbox handles, or and I'm going to have the next mailbox handles from the reference model and from my scoreboard. Get my mailbox handles. This is the write underscore done mailbox and read underscore done mailbox, which my drivers are giving to the generator. We have seen them, right? And next is reference model mailbox and reference model from write monitor to the reference model and from read monitor to reference model, and from write monitor to the scoreboard and from read monitor to the scoreboard. These are the mailboxes, and this is the mailbox which we are going to use from the scoreboard. I mean, from the reference model to the scoreboard. Okay, so these are the different mailboxes which I have over here, and there is no need to local over here. Local we can remove it. We don't need locals over here. And next is we are going to create the virtual handles. So virtual interface handles is needed for only your write driver, read driver, and write monitor, read monitor. Interface handles are not required for our reference model and scoreboard. Okay, so that's the reason I'm only four virtual interface handles I've declared over here. Next is the new function. In this particular new function, we are copying everything to the local handles. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the instances of all the mailbox handles which I have. And next, I'm going to call the function which is known as build. So this in this build function, I'm going to create the instance of my generator. How I'm going to create generator handle is equal to new. Now I need to check what is the arguments which are present in the new function of my generator that I need to pass. So generator's new function is expecting to three mailbox handles: write mailbox, read mailbox, and write done mailbox, which is given by the write driver. And next, driver is expecting interface instance, which we are passing over here. And next, read driver and write monitor, read monitor, reference model, and score. So like this, whatever the arguments the particular component is expecting via the new function, that we are supposed to pass. And after that, we are going to call the function which is we are going to call a task which is known as start task. In this, we are going to call all the run methods which are present inside my all the components like write driver run method, read driver run method. We are going to call write monitor run method, read monitor write run method. Next, we are going to call the task which is known as run underscore writes in the reference model. If you have remembered in the previous session only, we have discussed that. And also run underscore reads task which is present inside your reference model. And after that, I'm going to call the task which is known as run underscore check and run underscore write underscore sync. We haven't included in our scoreboard. That's it. Next, after that, I'm going to call the reset task which is present inside my write driver, and I'm going to give the number of cycles which I want to have this particular thing. Okay, that's it. So this is my start task. And in the run task, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an arguments of write address, write data, number of writes, read address, number of reads, and random SMS code transaction. After getting this particular arguments, so whoever is going to call this run task which is present inside my environment, they are going to pass this particular arguments. So after passing it, we are going to pass these arguments to my generators run method. If you have remembered, in the generator we are going to have a run method where it is expecting this particular arguments that we are going to pass it. And next is report function, which is going to call the report of your scoreboard. Okay, so in the yesterday in our previous session, I've told you, right, like in scoreboard, we can have a report function for reporting everything. So that particular, like, what is the address, what is the data, how many addresses are getting matched, how many test cases are getting passed, and how many test cases are getting failed. Like that, we can have a report function and we can include it in them. So that particular function, I can call it. And this is how I'm going to build a particular environment. So that's this is how we are going to build an environment class. Next, we are going to start with the development of test class development, and let us try to understand how we are going to develop a test class. So that's about this particular session. Thank you.